Do narcissistic people ever get over you? In one sense, no. No, they don't, because they fail to deal with their emotions. They fail to take responsibility for their actions. They fail to take their past mistakes and use them to learn and to grow and to develop. And instead, they mask it all. They mask it all with other people. They mask it all with addictions. And we're all capable of masking things, which is when we have to take a hard look at ourselves and do something about it. And usually it's not until we hit rock bottom that we do something about it. With a narcissistic person, they hit rock bottom and they still blame everybody else for their problems. With a narcissist, they have that sense of self-importance. They crave the admiration, they lack empathy, and they have a sense of entitlement. They do not think they are the problem. They believe everybody else is the problem. Everybody else has let them down. Everybody else is privileged. Everybody else is having all the luck. They do not see themselves as the problem. So with a narcissist, they often either see you as an extension of themselves, in which case, when they lose control over you, this unsettles them. It unnerves them because you're an extension of them. So you should be doing what they want you to do. Or they see you as a competition. They're very envious of you. So they want to keep you down so that they can feel superior of you. So if they lose you, they lose the ability to strip you of your confidence and your self-worth and your opinions and your dreams and your hobbies and your friends and your family. And they often go all out to seek revenge on you, to try and bring you crashing down because they're envious of you. When they lose you, be it you've ended the relationship with them, or you weren't giving them the attention and validation and admiration that they believe they're entitled to, so they feel they had to end it with you and move in with somebody new before your relationship was even over, it challenges their sense of superiority, and they might go all out to try and involve themselves in your life any way they can, so they still feel like they're important to you. This is when you can actually have a whole new family and a narcissist still believes that you want them back. Or they can move on to a whole new family. You can start trying to rebuild your life and they still believe that you want them back when you don't, because they believe they are superior. When they lose supply, any form of supply, be it a partner, someone who works for them, a friend, another family member, a child, it's the loss of validation. It's the loss of the ego boost that people depend on them, which is often why they strive to make you the codependent one, because they're actually dependent on you for attention and validation and support. And when they lose you, they don't like this. Just like when we've built a life with somebody and we lose them. It's not nice. If you lose them for natural reasons, it's devastating, and the grief that you go through is horrific. If you lose them through no personal choice of your own, it's devastating, and the grief is horrific. And it is just the same for narcissistic people. However, they come from a very self-centered point of view. It's about you not supplying them anymore. It's not because they enjoyed spending time with you, they enjoyed making memories with you. It's because you are no longer serving them. If they left you, it's usually because their ego was wounded and they felt like they weren't getting the attention and validation they believe they're entitled to from you. If you left them, they feel rejected and it wounds their ego. Rejection's not a nice thing to experience for anyone on any level. For a narcissist who is driven by gaining that validation and attention and the feeling of superiority, Rejection hurts them to the core, the very essence of who they are. It threatens their perception of the illusion that they've sold to the world around them. It threatens their perception that they're invincible. Rejection to a narcissist is a whole new level of pain. And this is often why they will either seek to win you back if it was your choice, so that they can punish you by discarding you in some of the most horrific ways, or smear your name and destroy your career, destroy your reputation. When you're a survivor of narcissistic abuse, you're usually explaining the things that happen to you, and more often than not, you downplay it. With a narcissistic person, they exaggerate anything and everything to make you look like the bad person. They forget the part they played in the story and just paint you out to be a liar and a cheater, even though you didn't cheat on them. Because to a narcissist, everything is your fault and nothing is ever their own fault. Narcissistic people lack the ability to take emotional accountability. They don't want to acknowledge their mistakes, their faults, their flaws, their inadequacies. Instead, they'll go all out to point out all of yours or all of somebody else's. So when they lose you, either because they felt like they had to leave you because you're no longer supplying them, or because you have finally had enough of them, to a narcissist, it's a case of, how dare you? You're no better than me. How dare you? And it's their defense mechanism then to go all out to punish you in some way, to either create the reality in their head that you're the one that's bitter and jealous and obsessed by simple things like not returning your belongings. So you're chasing them for those belongings, and this makes them feel important. Look, see, they're still getting in touch with me. They don't register. I just want my stuff back. And they will keep hold of your sentimental items for this very reason. They will cheat on you and flaunt a new supply in front of your face. And when you go looking for answers, because we want understanding and clarification, oh, they're jealous, oh, they're bitter. When they fail to be amicable, when they fail to be reasonable, when they fail to be rational, you can naturally become very irrational. When you start creating boundaries, they then twist it in their head that it's because you're bitter. They don't recognise it's a boundary because they don't care for your boundaries. They don't want you to recognise your own ability to set a boundary. They want to accuse you of being bitter, and there's that little compassion thing inside you that makes you think, oh, am I being bitter? I'm sure I'm not being bitter. Victims question themselves, question their motives, question their intentions, question their every move. Narcissistic people question everybody else other than themselves. Supply is like an addiction to a narcissist. So a loss of supply is horrific for a narcissistic person. They go through so many different withdrawals. And the best way to break an addiction is to get positively addicted to something that is going to benefit you. So, for example, if you're a smoker and you're trying to quit smoking and you've never meditated before in your life, every time you would go for a cigarette, go meditate for 5 minutes. Break the addiction with something positive, something helpful. Narcissistic people break the addiction from one supply by moving on and finding a new supply to fill that void. Never gaining a genuine connection with people because they're not willing to be open or honest or vulnerable with others. Their shield is up. They'll accuse you of having a shield up because their shield is up. They don't want to drop their guard. So they're not going to get a genuine, authentic relationship because they're unable to be vulnerable and open and honest. They're going to lie and deceive to get their supply to serve them. And when it's no longer working out, they take offence to that supply and move on to another source of supply. So to a narcissist, nothing is ever their fault, as they never are willing to genuinely process things and just go and find something to fill the void, they never truly get over anybody. When in reality, what they need to do is get over themselves, and they're not willing to do that either. If anyone has any thoughts on this video, please do add those into the video description. Thank you very much into the comments. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. I do also have 2 books out, a Narcissist Handbook, which is 15 rules to deal which is a Narcissist Handbook, which is the ultimate guide to understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, and 15 rules to deal with narcissistic people if you cannot go no contact. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.